Hi folks, so welcome to WTW Science with Dr. G, and today we have something really awesome and really exciting, and we are going to make ice cream using liquid nitrogen. So you remember some of our early experiments and they were really viewed and liked. So what do you know about liquid nitrogen? Well, we know it's odorless, we know it's colorless, we also know it's dangerous. So you make sure you have your goggles, I have mine on all the time, closed shoes, okay, and also make sure you are wearing gloves, because if you recall, the temperature of liquid nitrogen is minus 196 degrees Celsius. So it's 196 with a big fat minus sign in front. Just to give you an idea of how cold that is, if you imagine an ice cube from your freezer, then that liquid nitrogen is about 200 times colder than the ice cube. So we sort of pour some out for you just to show you what this liquid looks like. Okay, so into a Pyrex flask. So if you look very carefully over there, it seems to boil very quickly. The flask is very, very hot. Nitrogen is extremely cold, and it starts to evaporate. That white vapor that you see there is not nitrogen, but that's actually water vapor, which is a real cloud, by the way. So, also just to give you an idea, these are my favorites. It's one of the reasons why I don't have a six-pack. Okay, they're really soft, mushy marshmallows. But how would they behave if I put them into some liquid nitrogen? So I'm just going to throw some nitrogen into that polystyrene container, pop a couple of marshmallows in there. Right, remember they are nice and soft. Into there and leave them there for a few seconds, and let's see what actually happens. All right. So now on to the program of making ice cream. What would we need? Well, what I have here is some heavy cream or milk, about a liter of that. About half a cup of sugar, right? And one of my favorite flavors is strawberry. And what I like about this process is we're using real strawberries to actually make the ice cream. So I'll just chop up some strawberries, just a few of them over there, and that's what we have. And that's it. So let's try to put everything together and let's see what we get at the end. And I also have a secret little ingredient I'm going to throw into the formula towards the end. So that milk, the heavy cream into the container, just like that. Okay. And what I like about this process is that apart from just having fresh ingredients, you can control the sugar content. So you could have 0 sugar in your ice cream as well. Okay, so I'm just going to put it there and then throw in my strawberries. Just like that. Now, what's important is we mix this up really well. So just going to take one of these whiskers and make sure that that sugar sort of melts down or dissolves quite nicely into that heavy milk. And the reason for that is once the liquid nitrogen makes contact with the sugar crystal, that's just going to form a super mass in there, and that's not going to be really tasty or good at all. So remember those marshmallows? And there they are, they're really solid. If I try to squeeze them, you could actually break your teeth on one of these. Yeah. So be very, very careful when chomping on marshmallows dipped in liquid nitrogen, or anything for that matter. So I'm going to make sure that this dissolves quite nicely in there. We have a nice consistent solution. Obviously, the strawberries are still in solid form. And the trick here is to slowly introduce the liquid nitrogen at just the correct rate to get this to become more viscous, and finally we have these microcrystals forming. It's really nothing more than flash freezing the milk together with the various contents. So in order to help us with that, we are going to use one of these. And we will want to take care of this as well. So just going to pop this in there very quickly, just like that. And the trick is now just to get this on a very slow rotation as we go. And then slowly introduce the nitrogen, very slowly, until that freezing takes place. And you're going to be very, very careful here. If you do this very quickly, what's going to happen is it's all going to freeze up. And when it does, then this machine is going to burn out. And so here you have a beautiful mass of cloud just coming out, and that's real water vapor, as I mentioned to you. So we're just going to keep an eye so that we don't freeze the entire content up inside there. So it will be good to actually check what's really happening on the inside. So it's still rotating, still got some pace going on this, and yeah, so let's just give it a few more touches of liquid nitrogen. As I said, the trick is to really introduce this at the correct pace. And let's basically see as this goes. Once that jams and it stops rotating, then you know you've got a bigger problem than just making liquid nitrogen, using ice cream, making ice cream using liquid nitrogen. So one's going to be very careful. Ah, that looks really good. It's looking really, really good there. I can actually smell the strawberries as well. Nicely done. Nicely done. So if you're a physicist or a chemist, you'll be speaking of a thermodynamical system where we have the milk, we have the strawberries, and we have the liquid nitrogen. But to us at home, having lots of fun, we want ice cream. Oh, this is beautiful. And it really beats going to the shop and just taking off an ice cream from the shelf itself. So I'm just going to increase that rotation just a bit more. Oh man. If you can see what I'm looking at right here. Oh, it's brilliant. Okay, so we'll let that go for a while out there. Let's have a look and see what's happening. Okay, so we're almost there, folks. If you come in closer, you can actually see the real ice cream with the real strawberries in there. Success, success, success. Absolutely amazing. We can't wait to actually taste this. So, there we go. And we didn't burn off this little gadget. Oh, brilliant. So, let's have a look. Ah, this is the exciting bit. Whoa! Have a look at that for consistency. And if we want, you know, we could really have... Whoa! Look at that. A bit of ice cream scoop there, in there. This is with, and if you want the really solid bits, with the real strawberries, you can actually see bits and pieces of strawberries in there. Scoop some more like this. And if you want this really crunchy, all you have to do is just throw in a bit more liquid nitrogen, just for decorative purposes. And there we have it. So, a bit of milk, sugar. Even if you didn't want sugar, you can leave that out. And just some liquid nitrogen. A nice rotating device like this one. You don't really need a fancy machine. And you have ice cream, homemade ice cream. So you don't have to restrict yourself to strawberry. You can throw in chocolate. You can throw in whatever you want, whatever is your favorite, what's your fancy, and you can have ice cream. Now for the taste. This is brilliant. I've never eaten such beautifully tasty ice cream before. So please enjoy. Check us out. Check the other videos out. Come in, share, subscribe, and enjoy. Thank you very much.